My name is Paul van Zyl. I'm one of the co-founders of The Conduit, and on behalf of the House, I would like to welcome all of you to the second annual Young Innovators Award. And it's particularly exciting that we are doing this for a second year to build on the enormous success and excitement that we had last year round. I wanted to sort of take a tiny step back before I start introducing all of the finalists and acknowledging everybody here, and reflect for a moment about why I think this is such an important moment and why it is so vitally important to recognize young innovators. From time to time, I am called upon to give a kind of glass half full, glass half empty account of the world. And my speeches become sort of informally referred to as the Horseman of the Apocalypse speech, and in which I start by giving a kind of woeful tale of all the terrible things that the world is currently confronting. And it's a non-exhaustive list, and amongst ourselves we would probably add to it. But if you kind of paused and drew back and said, what are we facing as a planet? You might say climate catastrophe, a simultaneous population challenge that we could become a 10 billion person planet, which will blow all our planetary boundaries based on what humans will do to encroach on our natural habitat, but also a world in which we have too few people in large parts of the world and we confront a demographic downward spiral. Health emergencies and pandemics driven by climate, antibiotic-resistant drugs, the end of the post-war peace period and the rise of great world conflicts, eroding faith in democracies, deep polarization, the highest levels of inequality that we've seen in modern times, growing citizen disaffection in the world that we currently are living in, and the rise of a brand of populist leaders who sell us quick fixes but don't really produce great long-term solutions, who are exacerbating racism and xenophobia across many countries around the world. And that's just the start of a challenging list. And then I usually say, but have faith, because there are 5 big counter trends to those terribly challenging mega trends. And I start by saying, if you were to pick any moment in human history from the perspective of innovation and creativity and technological breakthroughs, you would choose this moment, that we are doing a remarkable set of boundary-pushing innovations that are expanding humans' capacity to solve almost all of the world's biggest problems. That there are $10 trillion industries that are emerging in batteries, grids, molecular biology, material science, nuclear, hydrogen, you name all the different ways in which technology is creating these trillion-dollar opportunities that correspond with what society and humanity needs in order to save itself. Capital is whooshing into this space. There's never been a larger moment in which entrepreneurship has been more celebrated, and there are more people around the world who are wanting to be entrepreneurs, and young people are mobilizing in unprecedented numbers, demanding change, building new companies, being voters and protesters and consumers, and demanding that the status quo as we know it shifts. And those 5 things give me enormous hope. And then I think about this award ceremony and think that of those 5 big positive megatrends, they kind of bizarrely coalesce around this particular event. It's young people being innovative, building things, using capital to try and address some of the world's biggest problems. And every time we look at the short list of people who apply, well over 100 this year, and the finalists are therefore in the top 10% of all these remarkable, extraordinary people who applied, I get filled with an incredible sense of optimism. That in your bleakest moment, in your worst day, when you feel most challenged by the world as we know it, just look at the people you are going to see today. And it gives you faith in humanity, it gives you faith in ingenuity, it gives you faith in the fact that young people can be principled leaders and do remarkable things well before their time. And this is the group of people that you are going to see and meet and hear from today. There will be 3 people who will be announced as winners, but everybody who has got to this point is already a winner. And they have already exemplified a set of really remarkable traits, and that's why we're celebrating them today. So it is my great honor just to call them out and to acknowledge them. And if you wouldn't mind just raising your hand, and then we'll do a little quick clap just to acknowledge you for all the amazing work. So Matt Zero Heat, Sri Holama. Lilo Products, Joanna Power. Reblock, Yihan Dong. And that's all in the climate category. In the education, skills, and training category, Paige Braille, Gregory Hargreaves. Nia Holly Simmons. Huddle Isaac Knapp. And then in the social justice and inclusion category, which is 4, because it's my favorite category. I'm joking, but there's no favorites. There's Sensei Kavya Jain. Zeal, Georgia Williams, and Joshua Kin. Uplift, Alok Rai. And First Gens, Aliyah Holloway. Now, these remarkable people are brought together by people who have donated their time and their money and their effort to make these awards possible, and I wanted to specifically acknowledge them. The first amongst equals is Michael Norton and Siva. Where's Michael? Oh, Michael. Michael is one of those wise, remarkable people who have done so many fantastic things. And so I'm just going to really acknowledge Michael's visionary nature. He's set up so many remarkable things, and Michael has been at the very center of this. Conduit Connect and the full team, thank you to you. They're around. The Roger Ross Fund, This Day, so Dan Barelowitz and Gary Lubner. And the MSN Fund. So thank you to all of you who have given support. Thank you so much to Amazon Web Services, who are our tech partner and are going to do many remarkable things with us in the months ahead. Media partners, Startups Magazine, and our strategic partners, Ashoka, Goodstead, Karma-Cola, and our in-kind partners, Diageo and Ben & Jerry's. So thank you to all of you. And I am now going to close by inviting our very debonair master of ceremonies for the day, Mehrad Jaberansari, to take it from here. Mehrad. And before I do Mehrad, I want to give a special acknowledgement to the team of people at the Conduit who worked very hard on this. Perez, who is head of Conduit Live and does all of our conferences. Jay, who sort of adjudicated wisely and helped with the process, and Kate, who has helped with organizing and structuring the event. So thank you to you and to the whole Conduit team.